that we built, and that soundstage, 16, was the world of Superstar. Check it out right here.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all relax. Your face stays where it is, pretty much.
One of my favorite shows being on NBC. Vince Feldman, American Flyer, the two stars. The set that you see was built in stage 16 and 17. It was so big that it took up 2 different sound stages. It was absolutely massive. But I'll tell you, it's not the only place that we filmed that show. We also filmed the stage 21 on your left-hand side. Now, stage 21 has a rich history here at Universal. Before Superstars, that's where the Mindy Project was filmed. And before that, they filmed Jurassic Park in there. Do you guys remember the scene where the Jeep was falling out of the tree? It was never filmed outside. They only did it in stage 21. And my favorite Universal movie that stars the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks, Apollo 13, also filmed right up there. That was Mission Control for that film. Now, we could have filmed the actual Mission Control in Texas, but the issue is, it's a fairly normal-sized room. And on a film set, you have a lot of funky things like actors, and crew, and lights, and cameras, and things like that. So we recreated it much bigger than it is in real life to give Ron Howard the whole through plenty of space to work. Over to your right, this area is called TV Alley. A lot of older TV stars have filmed here, like Coach with Casey Nelson, Parenthood, Death in the Housewife series, Sabrina the Teenage Witch as well. This is also where we filmed some newer shows like Homecoming. You see the TV star Good Girls over here that stars Christina Hendricks and Clay Whitman and Retta. We also filmed the new NBC show Mr. Mayor in this area. That stars Kid Dance and Holly Hunter. And we do just got a few game shows like this one, Hollywood Dinner. This stars Anthony Award-winning Cambridge. Check it out.
Whose name is worth more is Scrabble Tiles? Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo?
Such a fun show, you guys. They filmed all that in stage 44 on your right-hand side. Now, coming on your left, these are our production bungalows. These are where movies and TV shows get started. We have all the different companies here like Bluegrass Films that brought you 10, 10, 2. We've got producers like Mark Platt that brought you La La Land and Drive. And we used to have directors like Robert Zemeckis that brought you Forrest Gump for the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks. But before there's your production bungalows, there's a dressing room for Hollywood's biggest talent. You see, back in the golden age of cinema, we had something called the studio system. And that essentially meant that an actor would sign a contract saying they'd only make movies for us. Kind of like a sports contract. If you sign with the Dodgers, you only play for the Dodgers. If you sign with Universal, you only make movies for Universal. That's how we used to do it. And because of that very reason, a lot of actors would live here during the week while they filmed, and then they went home on the weekends when we weren't filming. Kind of like a 9-to-5 job you never leave, which is a nightmare, right, Sage? Yes, it is. Now we go home. The most famous bungalow was coming up on your left, 5195. It's home to the Daily Regis Company, but that is Alfred Hitchcock's original bungalow here on the back lot. When he was making the TV show Alfred Hitchcock Presents, that's where he was working from. On your left, we got Soundstage 22 and 23, where we're filming the new NBC show Keenan. That stars Kenan Thompson as well as Chris Redd, both those gentlemen from Saturday Night Live. But in this area, we also shot America's Got Talent, World of Dance with Jennifer Lopez, Hairspray Live, the musical with Ariana Grande, Law and Order, Menendez Murders, so many things. Now all that was the front lot, when we do a lot of the inside interior filming. This out here is the back lot. We do the outside exterior filming. And we're going to drive by, oh, they're getting ready to film actually right down here. You can see as we drive by, they've got a production vehicle and they've got a massive HMI light over there that's going to be lighting that whole scene. Well, this is New York Street right here. These buildings look very realistic, but they are not. They're what we call facades. They actually don't have interiors at all. They only have the outside. And the outside is also not real. It's all made out of plastic. And that's so we can change the architecture of our New York Street to be LA or Chicago or Minnesota, anywhere. And now, we have some great directors here at Universal. One of the best is Peter Jackson. He's going to tell you where he gets his inspiration as a filmmaker right here.
It's the original film Home that made me want to direct films. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into the edge. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, your planet's on this island, you're Captain Oswald, beaches from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right, folks. We are about to return to Skull Island. And before we do, I want to remind you to remain seated at all times. And if you have any loose articles, like a book bag, sunglasses, or a small child, that would be a good time to secure those as things are about to get bumpy.
the Universal Tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife at Skull Island.
Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip back to Skull Island. One of the most intense 3D experiences anybody can have. My goodness. Now folks, you can go ahead and take off those 3D glasses. Do hang on to them for us. We'll get them a little later on the tour, but I will let you know when. And the whole thing out there was brought to you by Peter Jackson and the geniuses over at Atlanta Digital. Atlanta Digital is one of the leaders in CGI entertainment. They've got 6 Academy Awards. And they worked on some pretty cool movies like Disney's Jungle Book, War of the Planet of the Apes, Tom and Jerry, Lord of the Rings trilogy, Avatar, Avengers, Infinity Wars. So many awesome movies. And that's the room you're just in. That screen is 40 feet tall. It's 180 feet long. It's the second largest 3D screen in the United States.
With a Project Studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, we always know people in the middle of the straight ahead of the shop for both the arm.
Got it?
It is a one and a half of art if I do say so myself. Now, somebody might have seen Car 5, the very last car, was sucked into the picture. Now, anytime you see a vehicle on screen, whether it's Car 5 or any vehicle at all, we have a special name for that. We like to call it a picture car. And we got a real treat for you coming up here in just a moment. We've got some of our picture cars on display. Now, as we drive by, keep in mind, some of these cars would become just as famous as the actors that drove them. mysterious, but I gotta say my favorite is the gyrosphere from Jurassic World. We've got it up here on your left. As we drive by, take a look. It might seem like the glass is missing, but the glass was never there. It was all done with CGI, because glass reflects, so you would have seen the whole place. You also can't cover people in glass and expect them to breathe, so we did it with CGI. And this tank right here looks pretty mean, doesn't it? I would not take it to battle, my friend. It's made entirely of wood. It's brought to you by IKEA. Now, why would we do that? Make a tank out of wood. Let's say, for instance, we're making a movie about the U.S. Army. We can't just borrow a tank from the Army for a number of reasons. They might need it. It's probably really expensive to borrow. And it weighs a few tons. Very difficult to transport. But if you make it out of wood, you solve all those issues. And if you're going to do a really cool stunt and blow it up, you don't have to apologize to the Army after you've completely destroyed their tank. And that's why we do things like that. But now, my friends, we're going to switch gears and take you to a place that brought moviegoers just off the coast of Costa Rica.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
And so, my friends, welcome to Isla Nublar. As we roll in, take a look to your left and right hand side. You're going to see some set pieces and picture cars from the Jurassic Park franchise. And what up on your left? This is the Mobile Wreck, the second Jurassic Park film, The Lost World. This is where they held the baby T-Rex. And if you look really closely, you're going to notice it's made mostly out of wood. That's just a really cool stuff. We dangled it from the side of a door. And if it was made out of steel and metal, it's very difficult, very dangerous to do. Make it out of wood, a lot easier, a lot safer when we're on set. Oh my gosh, you guys see what's happening? Just hang in there. Folks, there's something very specific about the Jurassic Park franchise I want to talk about, and it's their use of weather. They did it very cleverly. Think about it. Usually when the dinosaurs are attacking, it's dark, it's raining, it's a little scary. All those scenes wouldn't be so scary if there was a big rainbow behind the T-Rex. So weather's important because it creates specific moods. And here in Southern California, all we get is pretty much boring old sunshine. So if we need to change the mood of our film by changing the weather, we can't rely on Mother Nature. We have to do it ourselves. We're going to show you exactly how we do it right now. Middle of Mexico, one of the oldest parts of our lot. You might recognize these sets if you watch HBO's Westworld Season 1. This was Pariah. Awesome show. Do not watch it with your kids, though. Also, the Three Amigos film here was starred by two favorite marks. And what you're hearing and seeing, of course, is thunder and lightning. Thunder coming from a speaker system, and lightning coming from high-intensity LED lights, which gives you the idea of an oncoming storm. Sounds close. There it is. Now, to those of you that are native to Southern California, this is called weather. It's a pretty simple effect. We've got a sprinkler system above our heads. It shoots water straight up in the air, falls down very naturally thanks to gravity. Now, this is movie rain. It's a little bit different. If you ever watch the baseball game on TV and it gets postponed due to rain, when you look at your screen, you can't really see it. That's actual rain. Movie rain is 5 times bigger, so it shows up on camera a lot better. That's why actors get pretty much soaking wet immediately during a rain sequence. Now, if you were filming here, you wouldn't be hearing that thunder. That would all be done in post-production when the movie's done. If the actors are on the bridge having a conversation, you... Oh my gosh, that's a flash flood. Everyone just hang tight.
Oh, wow.
That is the result of thousands of gallons of water making its way down that hill. And this is what we call a practical effect. It's real life. It's tangible. And you've seen this practical effect in a few different projects. You saw it in Lady Gaga's music video, Judas. She stood in the middle of that flash flood in 6-inch stiletto heels. You also saw it in the movie Big Fat Liar, starring Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz, and Amanda Bynes. Take a look at how they used that flash flood.
You cannot run the whole kid! Yeah, we'll see about that. Hang on, funny folks!
Poor Paul Giamatti stunt double. He never wins. Now, folks, across the border from Old Mexico to 6 Points, Texas, this does mark the approximate halfway point of our tour. So once again, you remain seated at all times. And if you need any sort of assistance, go ahead and pull that red cord, and I will come back there as soon as I can help you. Well, like I said, this is 6 Points, Texas right here, and this is a hotbed of filming. A lot of really cool things are shot back here. Most recently, one of my favorite films that's shot back here was the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starred Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. You might remember some of the sets if you look around, because this is where Leo's TV show, as well as the movie he was in later in the film, was shot. We did a lot of those sequences right here. All they had to do was move the camera angle slightly so that you, the audience member, wouldn't realize you're actually in the same exact spot for two different locations in the movie. Now as we head out with the honor to your left and right hand side, you might notice that some of the doors are a little bigger or a little smaller than they should be in real life. Now that's not bad craftsmanship. We did it on purpose. It's called forced perspective. The reason we did this is because back when we were making a lot of our Western films, not all of our cowboys were as big and brawny in real life as we'd like them to be. So what we did is we made our doors a little bit smaller. So whenever our cowboy walks through, he seems a little bigger, a little larger than life, a little more heroic, right? On the flip side, we also did that to our leading ladies, made the doors a little bit bigger. So when they walk through, they seem a little smaller, a little daintier, a little more damsel in distress, like if you will. Now on your left, this area is called Marsh Lake. We can make this look like any body of water, even the Pacific Ocean. If we're going to make it look like the ocean, all we have to do is add a wave machine and make some planes, put in a miniature boat, film in the right direction, and it's easy as that. But my favorite use of this area was as a lagoon in this movie, right here. This is where the creature lived. Now there were two actors to play the creature. You got your main actor right here. He would do all the above water sequences. Your second actor was a professional diver, would do all the underwater sequences and could hold his breath for up to 6 minutes while they filmed underwater, which is like absolute madness. Now just behind us, sort of to the left, this area is called Little Europe, and this is where the horror genre was born, right back here. All the studios had their own thing, you know, Warner Brothers had the gangster films, and we at Universal, we had horror movies. And here in Little Europe is where Frankenstein, Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Mummy, The Wolfman, all of them were filmed right back here. So we're going to Soundstage 50 as we do remember to remain seated. They were filming a commercial here just the other day, and I left some of their equipment, so we go check it out. And I'm just going to point things out to you as we see it, and let you know what it's being used for filming. So this is a subway set. It's always a subway set, but we can make it like any subway in the world. Okay, up on your left, you've got what's called video reserve. That's where the director and producer are going to hang out and watch what's being filmed to see if they like it, or maybe they want to do another couple of takes. Way up front here on the left, you got hair and makeup, and my favorite part of set, crafty. That's where all the crew members are going to hang out. That's where the food is. It's my favorite part. Not so much the actors. You're not going to see them there because actors have to maintain their pose. Alright, if it's big crew, it is Southern California. Sometimes good timers, no need to worry. Oh my god. Okay, everyone just hang in there. This could be it. This could be the big one. Just hang in there, everybody. Oh my goodness, we're losing the feeling in the left. Look out! We're past the worst of it. Let's get out of here. Oh no, we want to make this broken. Ladies and gentlemen, you just survived the earthquake, but this one, very well done. You're handling yourself very well. Nobody was screaming or crying. And now you're clapping. You're happy about it. Excellent. Excellent. You almost be West Coasters. You're used to earthquakes by now. Now that's not just something fun for us to roll through. You actually can film inside of there. And they filmed an episode of the TV show Bones using all those practical effects. Take a look at how they use them. What's going on? That's what's up and around with this. You've had a lot happen today. blast fires, earthquakes, dinosaur attacks. Things have gotten a bit too crazy, so we're going to relax from now on and go to one of my favorite places to hang out here in LA. And that, of course, is the beach. Amity Island, to be exact. Now, you might remember this thing was found was terrorized by a great white shark in the film Jaws, but we caught the shark. So hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. We got one of our divers out there, George, just connecting the air to make sure it's safe for us. Let's see if we come out and say hi. Hey, oh my God. That is a door system. There's still a shark out there. We gotta let George know. Hey, George, if you can hear me, there's still a shark in the area. You gotta get back in that boat right now. George, hey, good to see you, bud. There's a shark coming your way, man. You gotta get back in that boat right now. Okay, nobody worry. George is trained with combat with sharks. He has all the tools he needs. He's going to be perfectly fine. Never mind, he is not good. Oh, say you owe me money too. Alright, let's try to find this gas for appreciate you. And we do have some bait in the barrel out there. If the shark takes the bait, we're alright. If not, we'll need a bigger tramp. Let's see what happens. Oh good, taking the bait. And the whole pier is very sheltered. Gentlemen, meet Bruce, our resident shark here on the back lot. Now, our mechanical shark works really well. The mechanical shark on the set of Jaws, not so much. Take a look at this right here.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark worked well enough for a while there. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Well, you heard it right here, folks. It did have a lot of issues on the set of Jaws. In fact, they went about 100 days over schedule, which is insane. They also went about 3 times over their budget, which generally studios do not like. And the shark you see on your screen sank into the bottom of the ocean on a number of occasions. And that's why, in the film, you see a lot of camera angles from the perspective of the shark. They literally couldn't use the shark. And whenever they could use the shark, it generally would fail. So they had to get very clever. They built a car that they could submerge underwater with a long pole on top of it and put the shark at the end of that pole. When the shark is coming out of the water, it's because the vehicle is driving underwater with that shark, which is madness. Now, all those issues ended up being a blessing. Jaws was originally supposed to come out Christmas of 1974. And believe it or not, Jaws was a Christmas movie. Instead, it got pushed back to summer of 1975 to get everybody out of the water and into the theaters. This also became the first blockbuster hit. We got that term after this movie because so many people went to see this film. They would line the block across the block, and that's where we get Blockbuster from, thanks to the success of Jaws. Pretty cool structure coming up on your right-hand side, known as the Chicken Ranch. You've seen this in a whole bunch of movies like these right here. But this is a practical set. That means it has a working interior. We can film inside, outside, upstairs, downstairs, anywhere we need to. And you guys remember we were driving by New York Street. I said there was building for a facade to the face, right? Take a look at the neighbor's house. Perfect shot of a facade. This is the front of a house, and that's it. In fact, the perfect neighbors live right there. I want to tell you attention to the left. This is Colonial Street, better known as Wisteria Lane. That is the Desperate Housewives film for 8 very successful years. It's also for Mindy Kaling's newest Netflix show, Never Have I Ever film. And with the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks, filmed The Burbs. But right now we're driving up Greens Road. There's something very special about this particular street. It's on either side of us. We got trees. And I know that might sound kind of weird to say, but it's very rare for a studio to have this amount of nature on their backlot. Usually, a studio is going to film every square inch with sound stages because that is where the bulk of filming happens. But we have this area so that we can do hiking and camping sequences. It's very difficult to film in the middle of the woods. It's a lot easier to film here though. All you have to do is put your tent, light a fire up there, and now you're camping. Or if you want to hike, all you got to do is take a walk. And that's what they did in the movie Bird Box with Sandra Bullock. There's a scene where she's hiking with a boy and girl. They were just walking right here on the street, and the camera never showed the ground. That's all they did. This is also a great place to crash a car at night and get a little creepy here. The Desperate Housewives crashed a few vehicles, and last season the TV show 911 flipped a limousine right there on the street. Now anytime you crash a car, you're still crashing a picture car. We got a few more on the right over here. This is an example of what we can do in-house. You can fully customize these vehicles, do paint jobs, anything like that. But if you're looking at that, you're going to see a Hearst. That's Beetlejuice instead of the movie Beetlejuice. And if you think about it, Beetlejuice is kind of a bad guy. But he's parked right behind the worst guy. And that, of course, is Norman Bates. Two of the most famous sets still standing in all of Hollywood. This Bates Motel on your right from Psycho 2. And the original house from Psycho, just on top of the hill. We are going to drive right next to Mother's house. If you look at the upper window, you might see Mother. Don't be scared. She's a very classy lady. She knows we get to stay tonight. Oh, she makes killer cupcakes, you guys. She absolutely rules. Well, keep your cameras out, my friends, because we're driving onto one of the coolest exterior sets in all of Hollywood. This is the famous plane crash site from Steven Spielberg's 2005 film, War of the Worlds. Now, what you folks are looking at is a real Boeing 747. It's a real-life plane. It cost filmmakers $60,000 to purchase, and it was destroyed for this one scene right here on your screen.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down and talk about War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep eyes on me. Listen, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now closed.
Mommy.
Bobby, get in.
Get in. And that's pretty much the whole scene right there. Like I said, folks, the plane cost $60,000, but to have it transported from the Mojave Desert where it was stationed here to our backlot, it cost production an extra $200,000, and it was only in the movie for 4 minutes. Crazy. My favorite set is out here on your right. It's called Falls Lake, and it includes this cabin you see right here, which you've seen in a lot of production. You saw it in Deja Vu, starring Denzel Washington, Shooters with Mark Wahlberg, The Great Outdoors, and then the Housewives series, and also Deja Vu, starring Denzel Washington. But the really cool part is that big, massive blue wall over there. We can flood that area and do water sequences. Like in Bruce Almighty, when he was walking on water, that's what he was walking on. Or in Dunkirk, when they capsized the boat, that's what they built it. And they shot an incredible movie over there that starred the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks. They filmed Sully right over there, guys. Take a look at this.
Evacuate.
Now this plane was actually parked out on that concrete slab. It was raised up on stilts and the water was brought to the level of the plane. You'll notice it doesn't move when the actors are walking on the wing, which is very convenient. But these actors are perfectly safe. They're only in about 3 or 4 feet deep of water. If they slip and fall, all they have to do is stand up and they are perfectly fine. And that's why people like to film here instead of somewhere like the Hudson River. The Hudson is deep, it's dark, it's dirty, it's cold. But here you don't have to worry about any of that. Like I said, they're only in about 3 or 4 feet deep of water. It's looks like we're heading into Sullivan Truck Repair. Not sure why. It's a known street racer party hangout. We have security behind us. They ushered us in here, so I'm gonna let them know we're here. Hello? We just got here.
Hey, yo! You just got here. All right, I got it.
Well, listen, hello, beautiful people, particularly you right there next to the third row. How you doing? You good?
My name is Roman Pierce.
Pleased to meet you.
My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you in Shaw for a while. We brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over. It's a little messy, but it's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in the third row, like I was saying. So look, see over there? It's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. But that work of art back over there is made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels.
So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, Roman, one. Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
So like I was saying, the third row, right? The same how many?
All right, everybody, you heard Roman. You gotta take that real serious. He's really got some friends over. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it sounds like in the next room there's a little party going on. Let's go check that out. Open up these doors. Come on, guys. Open sesame. Oh yeah. It is excessive up in here.
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Damn.
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, let's back up a little bit. Got it. It's like that. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of this.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate. Sean traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
All right, we're moving.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
All right, let's see you on the next day. Looks like we got a little safe space for us in this booth. If you have an ounce time, but why don't you go ahead and put on those 3D glasses? I say we'll protect your eyes in case you get into any tricky situation. Oh boy. Doesn't sound like they're having fun out there, my friend.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried. This is our turn. After them. Okay, guys, it's showtime. Arms, cover the lock. This thing ain't moving fast enough. Roman, Letty, hook him up. Now we're moving.
John, look out!
bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys can get out there and you're welcome to turn on cool anytime.
Now, folks, we are nearing the end of our tour. I want to go ahead and take this moment to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Little Insider's Tip, go ahead and download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app so you can stay up to the date on park information on the hours is until 6 p.m. Now, on behalf of Stanley, myself, and everyone here at NBC Universal, we hope you enjoyed your exclusive behind-the-scenes Hollywood experience. As we move our way back to the theme park, folks, do ensure to follow all team member instructions beginning on and off our rides and attractions, like our newest one, the Secret Life of Pets. Make sure to keep those special coverings on at all times and wash and sanitize your hands as much as you can throughout your visit. Folks, we talked about a lot of different movies out there. If you're